For this video, I'm going to take you on a walking tour of the Fun Spot amusement park located in Kissimmee, Florida. As a YouTuber, I constantly read the comment sections and look for feedback and requests and advice, and the Fun Spot parks have been requested by multiple viewers, so I finally made it down to Fun Spot. Before I really get into the heart of this video, I feel like I need to make a disclaimer. I don't like Fun Spot. I'm a local that grew up in Orlando and went to college at the University of Central Florida, and Fun Spot always makes the news for the wrong reasons, and I try to avoid the place as much as I can. My advice to anyone who's planning to go to Fun Spot, go to the one on International Drive. That has the better rides and just a nicer location. This one in Kissimmee is kind of like the bottom of the barrel, in my opinion. The last time I was here, somebody smashed into my car in the parking lot and took off. It was a hit and run, so I don't have the highest opinion of Kissimmee, and especially the Fun Spot here. One of the things that I'll also point out is the lack of security here at Fun Spot. You'll notice in the beginning of the video I just kind of waltzed in off the street and I was immediately inside the amusement park, whereas if you go to Disney World or Universal Studios or SeaWorld, there are metal detectors and security guards, checking to make sure there's nobody from the wrong crowd getting through the gates. The all-day rides armband costs $69.95 here at Fun Spot, and for another $20 you can go to a real theme park like SeaWorld or Busch Gardens or Legoland. Right now I'm putting up some various news stories from Fun Spot over the years. I realize that you get bad apples at Universal and Disney as well, and occasionally you'll see a fist fight, but people aren't getting shot over at those other parks. And the patrons at SeaWorld or Disney World aren't exactly known for stealing cop cars out of the parking lot either. So yeah, this is the last place I'd ever bring my family. Okay, so now that I've gotten the rant out of the way, let's continue with the walking tour. So now as I'm walking towards the arcade, you'll notice that the Galaxy Spin roller coaster is on my left-hand side. This is a Wild Mouse spinning coaster that was originally built at Cypress Gardens Adventure Park. When that park closed in 2009, Fun Spot purchased it. Fun Spot's claim to fame is they're the only ones who have actually ejected kids from it. Cypress Gardens never successfully threw anybody overboard, so there is that. I was never a huge fan of Wild Mouse roller coasters, so this one's just kind of there for me. I will give Fun Spot some credit. The Mind Blower wooden roller coaster that's coming up later in the tour is a pretty good ride. That's definitely one of the better wooden coasters, at least down here in the southeast. Fun Spot just recently renovated their arcade, so I filmed this before they put the new carpeting in, and this particular arcade does look a lot better now than at the time when I was filming this. At this point you probably also noticed that there's a bunch of Christmas trees showing up in this video, and I'm posting this video in like April. I do average about a 4 to 6 month lag between filming things and getting them posted on YouTube. It's just me that does all the work, so sometimes I just get behind. Fun Spot does have a decent sized arcade, although I think Deezerland has the better collection when it comes to arcade titles. Like if you're into fighting games like Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat, Deezerland has you covered a lot better. So right now I'm walking to the back of the park, and that's pretty much where all the best rides at Fun Spot are located. You're going to find that the Mind Blower roller coaster is also going to be on the left hand side, and that's that big wooden roller coaster that's coming up here on my left. And behind that are the two Go Kart tracks. Most of the fans of Fun Spot that usually come after me and kind of troll me in the forums and on YouTube itself, they usually point to the two Go Kart tracks, which are known as Vortex and Chaos. And I'll definitely give Fun Spot some credit here. They do have the absolute best Go Kart tracks in all of Central Florida. Regardless of whether you're at the International Drive location or the Highway 192 location, their multi-level Go Kart tracks are really good. Here in Kissimmee, they have 3-story multi-level Go Kart tracks, and those ramps that go up and down and climb, I guess, the bridges, they're very, very fun and engaging, and the Go Karts are pretty fast. I think they hit about 30 miles an hour, which is really fast for a theme park go-kart. I mean, if the rest of the rides were as good as the 2 go-kart tracks and the Mind Blower, I'd probably feel differently about Fun Spot. Unfortunately, the rest of the flat rides they have here are pretty underwhelming. Now, I didn't bother to film it on my trip, but I'll at least mention it. There is a second section of this amusement park that's located directly behind Old Town, which is adjacent to this location. I only decided to walk around the main portion of Fun Spot, but there is a second section of this amusement park, and it's like 3 or 4 kiddie rides and the Hurricane roller coaster. I did post the POV of that Hurricane if you're curious. So thinking about it more, I suppose if the main draw of whatever attraction you're planning to go to is go-karting, Fun Spot is probably the best place in Central Florida to go. I just think that's probably a small niche, but if that's what you're after, then I guess this is the place. As I'm now passing the Chaos and Vortex, you're going to notice the newest attractions that were added to Fun Spot here. One of them is Rock and Roll, which is their like Himalaya Music Express type of ride, and it's pretty straightforward. You go around in a circle real fast, and they play really loud music, and that pretty much sums up that particular ride. The other ride that they have is the Hot Shot, and that was also a new addition, and that's one of those swinging swing rides, and again, not really much to it, just a typical carny ride, I guess. While I'm walking around here, I guess this is a good opportunity to talk about the food. The food here is about average. I think you can get better food like next door at the Old Town Entertainment District, but if you're going to eat here, it's not particularly expensive. I will give them props for keeping the food prices affordable. A recent visit to SeaWorld, I was blown away by how expensive the food is at SeaWorld. They are more expensive than Walt Disney World and more expensive than Universal Studios. SeaWorld, a hamburger and fries now is going to set you back like $20 with the drink, and they're definitely a lot more expensive than their rival parks, and Fun Spot is definitely reasonably affordable when it comes to the food options, but I'd much rather walk next door and go to either Checkers or A&W Root Beer. So one last thing that I'll point out about this Fun Spot location is they do also have a Ferris Wheel, but it is located all the way at the front of the entrance of Old Town. So this park is really broken up into like the 3 sections. They've got the Ferris Wheel just in this random location, like next to the Old Town sign, away from the Fun Spot Park. And then they've got that random small kiddie area behind Old Town itself. So this is definitely the most disjointed Fun Spot location out of the 3. The Atlanta location is a little awkward too, because some of the rides are in the former parking lot. Out of the 3 Fun Spots, International Drive definitely has the most cohesive layout and organization of the rides. Well, that pretty much wraps up my walking tour of Fun Spot Amusement Park in Kissimmee. Thanks for joining me on another vlog of The Adventure Schmuck. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe.